Well, hello, my name is Steve Carr, and we're here to celebrate a birthday. It is May 20th, and that's the first day of the Rambler, the first day the Rambler was released. In fact, this is the prototype Rambler that I brought to a local music store back in May and let them play it, and they liked it so much they ordered 6, which at the time was a complete shock to me. So I didn't know, one, how we were going to make 6, but it was an exciting thing to have to do. I had a 1953 Pro Amp, which is a zero feedback 6L6 Class A power amp. And then I also had a deluxe reverb, a blackface deluxe reverb. Both those I liked a lot. So the idea was, in a sense, to combine the two and see what happened. And that really is the origin of the Rambler concept. There's always a lot of tweaking, a lot of, I'm looking at other cameras, a lot of tweaking and a lot of making circuits work together. For example, I didn't want to use the straight blackface tremolo in this. I used something more similar to 50s era Gibson. And it took a bit of, kind of messing around to make all that happy together. But finally it was happy together. And we made the first 6, and they sold kind of right away. It was another shock, a wonderful shock. This amp has become sort of a perennial favorite in Nashville for session guys. The Rambler is great at home. It has a ton of fullness, yet a lot of immediacy and transparency. Takes pedals really, really well. And I think that's why it's been such a success as a recording amp, but also as a small gig, or even these days, large gig where, 10 watts is plenty for a lot of spaces. Mid-1999, we developed the Rambler idea. Like I say, I sold 6. And we were having cabinets made from a guy in Durham nearby. So we had made all 6 of the amplifiers, and he drove over to deliver the cabinets. And one by one, we loaded them together. And that fellow named Ken Johnson, he still is a really good guitar player. So we would finish one, hand it to Ken. He would start playing it. And, we'd watch him, and he was nodding and happy. So that one was good. Give him another one. We went through all 6. And that was, at that early part of the Carr Amp's company, that was our test procedure. I'm taking questions now from the people in the audience.
What's that?
Well, this one, so that's a great question. This one's May 20th, 1999. And it's made from a slant 6 chassis that I sawed in half and built the Rambler into. This one, believe it or not, we'll zoom in on this. We just noticed, because we've had this in storage, this one was built on July 4th, 2001, so it's a pre-9/11 amp. This we made for our first NAMM show in 2000, I guess we went 2002, maybe we went in 2001, I don't remember, but so this was designed to show you the cabinetry and the wiring technique, which we'll get some more shots of that, but even still, this is really the template for everything we do. The style of point-to-point, the use of the Solon, these are aerospace caps designed for satellite use, carbon comp resistor, so a marriage of old technology and new technology parts with this terminal strip kind of construction, which you'd see in the 50s and 60s. It also makes it very easy to repair if you ever need to repair it, just because everything's right there. And you can see the dovetailing, oops, careful. You can see the nice joinery here and the solid pine cabinets. That is nice. This one was made by, gosh, 2001. That might have been Peter Mather. But now, starting around 2002, we moved all the cabinet production in-house. Right, so this is a great kind of view here. Here we've got 1999, 2001, and this is a brand new Rambler and Black Gator. This one's going to Coda Music in England. We started exporting somewhere around 2005, and that's about half our business now. But this is a lovely Black Gator Rambler that we built in-house, cabinet-wise, and of course, amplifier-wise. The Rambler, again, made since 1999, has had almost no changes in its whole run. It's kind of hard to believe. We've changed a few things with the transformers over the years, just to make them a little more universally compliant. Excuse me. We have an export transformer now, so that's different. But really, everything is the same. We fasten parts down a bit better now. They're more roadworthy now. The transformers are generally the same, the output transformer. The chassis is a little bit different. It's a little more robust. Generally, everything we've done has really just been to beef it up a little bit. That's another good question. Has the test, let me get that again. Has the test procedure changed? That's a great question. So Ken Johnson, great cabinet maker, I'm sure he's out there doing wonderful things. I haven't seen him in a long time. Instead of having him play each amp and get the nod, now we go through a whole series of rigorous tests where we inspect every solder joint after it's made, check every value, power the amp up, tube it up, check it out on the scope, kind of shock it with some mallet blows to see if there's any issues where the trace on the scope bounces. Then we burn them in for 24 hours and then repeat all those tests again, and then it's ready to go into the cabinet. So we have changed that a lot actually as we've become more of a mature company, real company.
And you've reached maturity.
Well, some might argue that, but yes, we've reached maturity. We're in young middle age, so we got a long way to go.
So do we get to hear one?
Yes, luckily Will, who works here, one of our great assemblers, Will, has volunteered, in fact insisted, to play a little bit for you today. All right, happy birthday, Rambler.